The Tuesday, April 16th, 2024 meeting of the Eden Prairie City Council is now called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. It is customary at the start of each meeting that I read an invitation for the public, for our residents to come before the council during something called Open Podium. Open Podium is an opportunity for Eden Prairie residents to address the City Council on issues related to Eden Prairie City government prior to each council meeting. These council meetings typically occur the first and third Tuesday of each month. The open podiums occur from 6:30 to 6:55 p.m. here in the council chamber. If you wish to speak at Open Podium, please contact the City Manager's office at 952-949-8412 by noon of the meeting date with your name, your phone number, and subject matter so we can be better prepared for you. Open Podium is not recorded or televised. If you have questions about Open Podium, please do contact the City Manager's office. Mr. Getcho, we have a couple proclamations this evening.
We do, Mayor. We have two of these that we typically do this time of year, and the first is a Small Business Week proclamation that was prepared by our Economic Development Manager, and I don't believe we have anyone present to receive the proclamation or say any words, but I believe you are requested to simply read the proclamation for Small Business Week, and no action is required.
Do we send this to our Chamber of Commerce, Pat Mulqueeny? Do we?
We would do that.
And put it on our website, I'm assuming, as well. And
yeah, we would. I think there might be a representative of an organization associated with Small Business Week that we would also send this to.
Perfect. So I will read the proclamation. National Small Business Week, Sunday, April 28th through Saturday, May 4th, 2024. Whereas America's economic growth is driven by the resilience of small businesses that create employment opportunities for millions of families and workers across America, and whereas small businesses remain the heartbeat of our communities and employ more than half of all of our nation's workers, and whereas when we support small businesses, jobs are created and local communities prosper economically, and whereas presidents of the United States have proclaimed National Small Business Week every year since 1963 to highlight the importance of small businesses to our economy, and whereas the City of Eden Prairie joins in a national effort to recognize the contributions of small business to the local and national economy. Now, therefore, the City Council of the City of Eden Prairie, Minnesota does hereby proclaim Sunday, April 28th through Saturday, May 4th, 2024, National Small Business Week in the City of Eden Prairie. Ronald A. Case, Mayor, City of Eden Prairie. And as the proclamation implies, we do encourage people to frequent small businesses, particularly within Eden Prairie, and spend your dollars there. Mr. Getcho.
Thank you, Mayor. The second proclamation is our annual Arbor Day proclamation. As you know, our city is very involved with the Tree City USA program. Our Sustainability Commission is very involved, along with our city staff, in Arbor Day events. I'm not sure if our Park and Rec Director has anything to add, but I will just cover that, in recognition of Arbor Day, we will have a city event at the end of the month, the Arbor Day Walk and Green Fair, Saturday, April 27th, from 10 to 1 at Round Lake. So that's a community event we have that draws many of our residents, and anyone is welcome to come, and that is where we have our free seedlings compost, and this year, I think we've done this a few years now very successfully. We've had a garden tool swap event at our Arbor Day event as well. Again, Mayor, as you know, I know that you've been a part of city councils for probably 30 years that have read this proclamation around Arbor Day and recognizing us, Eden Prairie, as a Tree City USA community.
Amy, anything?
Yeah, we are looking forward to Arbor Day on April 27th. And if residents have purchased a tree through the tree sale, that will be the day that they'll come out to Round Lake and pick up their tree. We'll be offering tours of the new Round Lake building and looking at some of the unique green features that were implemented into the design. We'll have tree walks to live with our city forester and looking at the variety of species in the park. And then we'll have a variety of organizations present with information for people that day.
Perfect, thank you. I don't know where else in the city the Tree City USA sign is, but I know coming into Eden Prairie out of Bloomington on Pioneer Trail is a sign to the right that says Tree City. I'm assuming we have them at entry points here and there across the city. I've never really gone out and done a survey, but are they out there?
I believe they are, Mayor, because I know there's one into the entrance of this building,
Oh, okay.
right outside of this building on Mitchell Road. There may be more. I don't know exactly where, but not only entry points into the city, but even into this building.
Nice. And just to remind residents as well that Eden Prairie was one of the first, and maybe the first, to have such a robust tree preservation ordinance, which has, I don't even know, probably saved hundreds of thousands. I don't know, maybe it's 1 million trees in Eden Prairie. I just am super proud of that. So we definitely have earned the title Tree City. So I will read a proclamation, Arbor Day, April 27, 2024, whereas Arbor Day provides people in Eden Prairie the opportunity to celebrate the importance of trees and forests to our economy, health, culture, history, and future of the city. And whereas trees are of great value as they provide clean air and water, shade, energy savings, wildlife habitat, and recreational opportunities, and whereas thoughtfully choosing, planting, and caring for a diverse mix of trees and caring for trees as described in the city's urban forest management plan makes our community more resilient into the future, and whereas trees play a major role in combating climate change by sequestering carbon from the atmosphere, thereby offsetting greenhouse gas emissions, and whereas trees help Eden Prairie meet the Climate Action Plan goal of community-wide carbon neutrality by 2050, and whereas Eden Prairie first celebrated Arbor Day in 1982, and whereas Eden Prairie has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue its tree stewardship and tree planting practices now, therefore, I, Ron Case, Mayor of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, do hereby proclaim April 27th, 2024 as Arbor Day in the city of Eden Prairie and urge all citizens to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands and to support our city's urban forestry program. And further, I urge all citizens to plant and care for trees to promote the well-being of present and future generations, adopted by the Eden Prairie City Council on April 16th, 2024. So I'll make the statement I've made many times. No one's ever refuted it. I think it's probably impossible, but I have been told for nearly 30 years that we have more trees in Eden Prairie today than at any time in the last 10,000 years since the big glacier, the last covered our land. And because we were a lot of prairie oak savanna, that our urban forest has produced more trees than at any time in our history. I'm pretty proud of that one as well. If you ever get the chance to fly out of Flying Cloud Airport and fly over Eden Prairie, it's pretty amazing. Shocked at how much water we have here, but also at the tree cover. It's just phenomenal. So, Council, anything else about either of these proclamations? Comments? Okay. All right, we're to the approval of agenda and other items of business. Council, anything you'd like to add to the agenda this evening, probably in the way of council member reports? Anyone? Oh, you're good? Okay, if there's none, then if someone would make the motion to approve the agenda.
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, passes unanimous. Minutes. So we have 2 minutes, one from the workshop held back on April 2nd, one from the council meeting. Council, anything that you wish to edit or question about the way it was recorded? If not, is there someone make a motion to approve both?
Move to approve the following city council minutes. Council workshop held Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024. City council meeting held Tuesday, April 2nd, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimous. Consent calendar. These are items that are fairly perfunctory and housekeeping, so we clump them together. But council, any items you wish to pull for further discussion, even separate as a vote? If not, is there someone that would make a motion to approve A through J?
Move to approve items A through J on the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, again unanimous. All right, Mr. Getchell, we're down to our one and only public hearing.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. So our one public hearing is the Eden Prairie Public Schools resolution for a guide plan change from an office to a parks and open space and public use on 60.91 acres at 11840 Valley View Road. That is the site of Unify, or it had been the site of the Unify office building for a number of years on Valley View Road. The Eden Prairie School District is planning to purchase that property. I believe that they have a presentation that they're going to provide, but I do know that there aren't any immediate changes to the site itself. It would be an occupation of the current building for the uses that I believe that they're going to cover in their presentation. So basically, the main action that you're taking is this guide plan change in the use of the building of the site. This was unanimously approved by the Planning Commission. There were 2 abstentions, but all others unanimously approved. And as I said, I believe there is a representative here from the Eden Prairie School District that was going to provide an overview of their plans for the building. It
Somebody,
was my understanding that there would be, but
any of you
I'm
in
not
the
seeing
audience want to step
anybody.
up and just make the presentation? I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me ask this before I do open it up as a public hearing without a presentation. This, I won't call it housekeeping, but at this point, we are simply changing the zoning. We're not approving anything else in terms of changes to the building. They would bring that back in at a future later date.
Mayor, members of the council, the request before you is for a comp plan amendment to re-guide from office to public and then rezone the same portions of that property to public, with the remaining being rezoned to park and open space
But
consistent
if any
with comp plan.
changes to the building came forward, that would be at a later date.
Correct. Any changes to the building or the parking lot, any site reconfiguration would require review by the city.
And if for some reason the school district changed its mind or, could not produce or whatever, they decided not to purchase, and then a future buyer would come in and wants it to be commercial or something again, they would come back and get the master guide plan zoning changed again back to something they would want. We would get to weigh in on that one too.
Correct.
Okay. So council, do you have any questions before I open it up to the public? No. Yeah,
I got a question.
Councilmember Freiberg.
It says that they're pending purchase of the property. I'm almost wondering why they would be doing this before they closed on the property. Just my opinion.
Sure, Julie.
Makes sense.
Mayor, members of the council, it's fairly commonplace for purchase agreements to be contingent on receiving city entitlements.
Okay.
It does, I get your point. What's the order?
Yeah.
So intuitively, I suppose I wouldn't put money down on something that I didn't know, right, was going to be guided the way I needed it to be.
Well, that was the right word, contingent to, I mean, it's an
Yeah.
PA, I understand that totally then.
And Mayor, if I just add, because I mentioned that I know that they provided a presentation at planning, and I was able to watch that meeting, and I'm not going to try to summarize any of that.
Had the opportunity to see
But,
that.
yeah, and if you've seen that, but just to mention that I know that there's 2 main uses. That one of the uses for that building is a use that has been in this building before, and that's the tassel program for adult students. And then I know they also want to consolidate and bring back their alternative learning center, and there's a lot of training space, seminar space, additional space that they have, kind of thinking back to the presentation that they gave. And I think, again, Julie covered and I covered earlier that there are no plan changes at all to the building or the land aside from what they're going to do internally for what they need to occupy their space. But again, I think that they provided some discussion of their program and their plans related to their long-range planning that they have and their Designing Pathways program that you've heard about. And this is a big piece of that.
Just so we're clear, and then again, I will open up to the public momentarily. So I don't know if I was a neighbor around or across the lake, if I would be concerned, but could they someday expand this school? Well, yes, right? They could do it like any school that sits on public land, in essence, that's been zoned public in that zoning district. They could come back, but it would require council approval if they needed some kind of an addition or extended parking, something. We would absolutely have our say in that process as well. Is that accurate? Okay.
Yes.
All right, so this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to address the council on the issue of the Eden Prairie Public Schools purchasing the unit? Well, actually, their proposal, but we would just, on the rezoning of this land so that they could go ahead and purchase from UNFI this part of the parcel of the original. Okay, seeing none. Council, if you're, well, you can still ask questions. If anyone wants and is comfortable, go ahead and close the public hearing and make the motion, and then we can continue conversation.
I'll move to close the public hearing and adopt a resolution for a guide plan change from office and parks and open space to public, semi-public, and parks and open space on 60.91 acres, and approve the first reading of the ordinance for a zoning district change from office and rural to public and parks and open space and planned unit development district review with waivers on 60.91 acres, and direct staff to prepare a development agreement incorporating staff and commission recommendations and council conditions.
Second.
All right, council, any further discussion, questions, comments you want to make? Everyone okay?
Yep.
All right, let's vote on it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimous. All right, payment, well, should we congratulate them since I'm sure everyone's watching online from the school district? I'm assuming someone will give them a call. I'm sure they're pleased. All right, payment of claims. This is a list of, in the classic old days, all the checks that we write. It's our expenditures, and we have a roll call vote with this because it's that important that we have control over where the money, or how the money gets spent. All right, council, any questions you have of any expenditures in that long multi-page list? If not, is there a motion to approve the payment of claims?
Move approval of payment of claims as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Freiberg,
Aye.
Councilmember Narayan,
Aye.
Councilmember Nelson,
Aye.
Councilmember Toomey,
Aye.
Mayor Case.
Aye. So, I don't know, should we start to feel guilty over these incredibly short meetings?
I
I'm sure
would
staff is like,
I would not, Mayor, because
oh, you would not?
the
Okay.
minute you feel guilty, we've got-
that 11
I
o'clock
think
meeting comes.
It is. I
Got
think
We're
we
just highly efficient.
Yeah, I think there are maybe 3 or 4 public hearings next meeting. So,
Yeah, I will feel no guilt.
yes.
All right. Anything else, council, to come before the council this evening?
If none,
If not, is there a motion to adjourn the city council meeting?
move to adjourn the city council meeting tonight.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any other conversation, discussion about that? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose. This meeting is adjourned.